From the Kicked and Clawed release, that is Cats in Boots with Her Monkey.
Put them right next to Odin and the bands I never want to hear again.
That's their ass fire in the chat room.
That's fucking junk. You like that?
No, Her Monkey.
That's like if you took Faster Pussycat and dumbed it down even more dumb than it already is.
Well, that was about the same time, same era.
I never liked any of those bands. That or Faster Pussycat or what's that other band? Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah, well, that was all in that same grouping. They were all trying to do that whole glam sleaze thing.
Yeah. Dude, who do you think feels worse? The Odin guys for not making it, or the chicks that were the whores to the Odin guys thinking that they were sucking cock so that they would be in on fame? You got to think those chicks.
Who feels worse?
Who feels worse about their decision?
Well, you gotta talk about maybe it's the chicks. I'm gonna go with the chicks.
I think it's got to be the chicks too. You know, they're probably now they're 50-year-old housewives, you know, married to some fucking mid-level manager at some bullshit company, and they've never told him. They've never told that guy that they used to. You know, they used to suck cock from this band that was going to be huge and just never made it.
Well, you are describing that movie with Goldie Hawn and what's her name? What was the name of that? Oh, the Banger Sisters.
The Bangers? I've never seen that.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn and what with the one who she was in. What is her name?
I'm gonna look up the Banger Sisters. Maybe the Banger Sisters cast. It would be Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon. There you go.
All right.
The Susan Sarandon. She was a Hollywood groupie along with Goldie Hawn.
Okay.
And Goldie Hawn still lived the lifestyle, hanging out at the Whiskey and the Rainbow in her, her middle ages.
Oh, nice.
And her groupie friend, went on to marry a business guy, respectable guy, having the suburban household.
Sure.
Raising kids, very strict mother, real button down type.
Right.
And Goldie Hawn shows up on her doorstep, and she is frightened to death that her husband or her kids are going to find out about her past.
Right. Find out that she was just a whore.
Yeah. That she sucked Jim Morrison's cock.
Right.
Exactly what they talked about.
Well, at least it was Jim Morrison. He made something of himself.
I understand. My point is that I was just going by the storyline about, hiding the fact that you were sucking dick on Randy O.
Yeah, I mean, Randy O.
Because he was going to be the next big thing, according to Bill Gazzari.
And meanwhile, what did he end up doing? Working at the airport?
Well, he did go on to form another band, the Lost Boys.
Oh, that had tremendous success.
It didn't have success, but he didn't give up his whole dream. He just didn't say, "Oh, well, Odin didn't make it, so I'm done here." At least he tried something else.
Yeah. Look, I don't fault the guy for trying. It's like, and again, I don't blame him. I'm saying the chicks have to be horrified.
Yeah, of course.
Thinking, because they thought when they were shooting that pool scene or jacuzzi scene, and they're all fucking hugging around him and, jerking him off under the water and just giggling and whatnot. They thought they were jerking their way into $1 million deal.
Yeah.
And instead they ended up with somebody that just fucking didn't end up doing anything.
Yeah. And then who was it? The guys in DC4?
Yeah.
They went on and of course, one of the guys from Odin joined Armored Saint.
Right. Sure.
So, yeah. So those guys went on to do some stuff in the music business.
Yeah. Just Odin didn't. Odin was lousy.
Yeah. Odin just didn't quite cut it.
Oof, boy. Sad.
Yeah, well, the story goes, if you've heard any of the stories of the behind the scenes with of the decline of Western civilization, part two, the Metal Years, is that Odin was already on the verge of breaking up when that movie was being shot.
Oh, really? So
Yeah, they were already on their way out at that point.
was that just their last gasp, hoping something would come out of it?
I guess, but the story goes that they were already just like a week or two away from calling it quits already.
Right. I'm going to answer a question from the chat room from Assfire. What's the difference between Cats and Boots and some band like Quiet Riot? Nothing.
Nothing. About the same.
Quiet Riot sucked too.
Yeah, the only thing that Quiet Riot really was the fact that they were the first time that a quote unquote a heavy metal band made it to number one on the charts.
Quiet Riot had one really good record. I think that's fair to say. Quiet Riot, Metal Health's a good record, but like every star had to align for that record to hit. Everything had to align perfectly, the songwriting and everything. And they proved after it, they just didn't have that talent to maintain that.
Yeah, and the thing is their success came off of cover songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not saying it's a bad record. It's a great record. I enjoy that record tremendously. But what else did they do? Condition Critical was just a bag of shit, an overproduced bag of shit. And what else came? What was after that? QR3? Was that after that?
Yeah, I think so. Again, and then of course Kevin left the band and they brought in Paul Shortino.
Yeah, and made a decent record that was like decent because it didn't sound like Quiet Riot.
Right.
And what was The Wild and the Young? What was that album called? That was QR3, right?
I think.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. They just were not good.
Yeah, they were just an average band. They just happened to be at the right place, the right time.
Yeah, if you take out Metal Health, which I mean, obviously you can't, but if you take out Metal Health, they're Odin. They never make it. If they didn't have that collection, if they didn't have Metal Health and they didn't have the luck of MTV with Come On Feel the Noise, they're done. The fact that MTV played the living shit out of Come On Feel the Noise is what made that band successful for 13 seconds. But they're not a good band.
Terrified.
That's what that album's called.
There's one out there called Terrified. I don't think they got any songs off of that at all.
That's named after my listening experience to Quiet Riot. Terrified. Yeah, they stink.
Yeah, not good.
I'm
surprised that they even still have a career.
Well, dude, again, you have a couple of hits. You play those couple of hits, and people keep on coming out to see it, no matter who's singing it.
True.
I mean, look.
No matter who's in the band, even if it's just the drummer.
Yeah, and not even the original drummer.
True.
As long as somebody that was there at some point.
Yeah. He was there during the most popular time for the band.
Yeah. That year when they were the Beatles of metal. Shut up.
They were the Beatles of metal.
The Beatles of metal. Would you stop?
So good. All right. I got to ask the question because I really don't know the answer.
Okay.
All I've heard in the media and, in news stories and whatnot, that June is Pride Month.
Okay.
Who makes that decision? How does that even become the thing? How does June become Pride Month? Who coronates June Pride Month?
I don't know.
And why is that accepted by everybody that, oh yeah, June's Pride Month?
Maybe because if you turn a 6 sideways, it looks like a dick and balls.
I don't know the answer. So how does that even become designated? Who designates that? And why are so many people, gay or not gay, so willing to accept that? And I'm talking about corporations.